I'm Grayson Ottaway. Marvelous videos. The beauty of the horror genre lies in how diverse it is. Movies range from creature features to tales of haunted houses, malevolent spirits and demons, terrifying wilderness, and alien predators. Survival horror mixed with extraterrestrial parasitic creatures is precisely what The Thing brought to the table all the way back in 1982. The story received poor reviews and criticism, along with being a box office failure, but it became a cult classic once released on home video and on TV. Hailed as one of the best horror films ever made, it is now getting a reboot. Here is all we know about the newest The Thing remake. Before we get into our explanation though, very small request: if you like our content, please support us by subscribing to this channel. Very small click. For us though, it means a great deal. Thank you. Let's go. What is The Thing? Film 1, 1982. American science fiction horror film The Thing, with a screenplay by Bill Lancaster, was released in 1982. It was directed by John Carpenter, based on the 1938 novella Who Goes There, written by John W. Campbell Jr., tells the tale of a group of American scientists who travel to Antarctica and run upon the titular Thing, an extraterrestrial parasite that mimics and assimilates other living things. As they start to realize they can no longer rely on one another and that any one of them could be the Thing, the gang is overtaken by paranoia and hostility. The Thing is a fantastic story of extreme solitude that takes place in the very secluded Antarctica. The group of American research experts accept a canine as they feel they're acting morally. However, they soon learn that this was only their first error, as the dog turns out to be a parasitic extraterrestrial that can adopt the form of its victims. The camp crew must fight the ferocious creature in a bloody, desperate battle under the leadership of a resourceful helicopter pilot and the camp doctor before it kills them all one by one. The Thing might have assimilated hundreds or perhaps thousands of other species before it landed on Earth. Therefore, its original physical traits and motivations are unclear. The Thing is unlike most organisms in that it lacks a built-in standard anatomy. It is entirely possible that the Thing is a colonizing organism whose genetic code contains instructions for assimilation. Because of the Thing's ability to change its appearance, its biology may become identical to that of the organism it has duplicated or is currently replicating. The Thing is immune to the majority of common forms of attack and can regenerate after sustaining significant harm. Following 1951's The Thing from Another World, a comprehensive adaptation of the novella was put into production in the middle of the 1970s. Each filmmaker and writer who worked on The Thing during that process had a unique perspective on how to approach the story. When The Thing was finally launched in 1982, it was criticized and called instant garbage and a terrible excess. While some thought that the characters were underdeveloped, critics both applauded and condemned the special effects for being visually revolting. The movie made just $19.6 million when it was playing in theaters. However, when it was made available on home video and TV, it attracted viewers. It has since received a new recognition as one of the greatest science fiction horror movies ever produced and has developed a cult following. Its terrible claustrophobia, captivating lead performance by Kurt Russell, and the key practical effects that were used to produce the unforgettable body horror have all contributed to its status as a sci-fi classic. The movie and its titular creature have been referenced in numerous media, including television and video games, and it's been acknowledged as having an influence on filmmakers' works. Haunted house attractions, a 1982 novelization, board games, a video game with the same name, sequels and comic books, and a separately made 2011 prequel movie with the same name, just a few examples of the many things that The Thing inspired. Prequel, The Thing 2011. Next came The Thing, a movie bearing the same name as the first one, which was released almost 30 years later. The Thing is a 2011 American science fiction horror film that was written and directed by Matthias Van Heinigen Jr. It serves as a direct precursor to John Carpenter's 1982 movie of the same name, which was based on the 1938 book Who Goes There. It also relates the tale of a group of scientists working at a Norwegian Antarctic research station who, after finding a parasitic extraterrestrial buried deep in the ice, discover that it is still alive, but they're too late to do anything about it. Some new information about the titular creature is added in this prequel, when American paleontologist Kate Lloyd finds a small pool of blood with metal filings in it. She realizes the creature cannot mimic non-living inorganic stuff like metals or plastic, as she deduces the creature spat them out when it assimilated its victim in the 2011 prequel film The Thing. The Thing came in third on the box office list with an opening weekend haul of almost $8.5 million. It was released in 2,996 theaters and spent 1 week at the top of the charts before falling to 16th spot the following week. Box Office Mojo referred to its box office results as an unmitigated letdown. Critics may have found the film to be disappointing, but fans of the original weren't put off. The 2011 Halloween Horror Nights events at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando Resort featured the movie as a maze, with the tagline assimilation at Hollywood's version. Unofficial sequel, The Thing Returns, 2021. The most recent addition to the series, The Thing Returns, is the unofficial sequel. It was released in 2021. The plot of The Thing Returns picks up from where the story ended in The Thing. A crew from McMurdo Station is dispatched to Outpost 31 to investigate unusual events that had taken place, but to their surprise, they discover the base completely destroyed when they arrive. They discover 2 dead bodies in the ice, which only makes things worse. They also discover an old cassette on a broken player after doing some further digging. They then find a metallic object nearby, further obscuring the mystery. They thought they were safe, that the thing was dead. However, it turns out that the thing was there, ready to be rescued and let loose on the world. Sequels frequently disappoint because they attempt to raise the bar but actually fall short. That is not the goal of this film. It avoided the pitfalls of adding tedious cliches and breaking the tension with cheap laughs. It didn't attempt to drastically alter the formula, which is a very good thing. No need to reinvent the wheel. Simply create another engaging one, which is exactly what Rui Constantino, director and writer of the movie, did.
Looks like the alien cells are somehow attacking Henrik's cells, and then
Remake updates what we know so far. With 3 films already being made about the titular parasitic alien creature, it seems like a 4th one is on the way. Although the information surrounding the film is scarce, this is what we know. Variety has reported that Blumhouse Productions and director John Carpenter are working on a remake of Carpenter's 1982 horror masterpiece, The Thing. No further specifics have been worked out because the project is still in its very initial stages. On a panel for the Fantasia International Film Festival, Carpenter made the initial announcement. He talked about completing the score for Halloween Kills, the follow-up to another Carpenter favorites 2018 revival. The Blumhouse-produced and David Gordon Green-helmed movie was postponed till 2021 because of the COVID-19 epidemic. Carpenter was questioned later on about whether he has discussed directing any movies himself with Blumhouse CEO Jason Blum. If indeed the project is a prequel, sequel, or just a remake, Carpenter wouldn't say, so that is all still up in the air. However, we already know that John W. Campbell Jr.'s 1938 novella Who Goes There served as the basis for The Thing, but nobody was aware that Who Goes There was a condensed version of the story Campbell had written decades before. Frozen Hell, Campbell's whole story, was recently published, and it has been reported that Blumhouse's The Thing revival would take this plot into account in the making of the new movie. Therefore, even though it's anticipated to be a reboot rather than a sequel that The Thing fans might like, Blumhouse's interpretation of the tale should have a number of significant modifications. These should satisfactorily distinguish the project from Carpenter's The Thing. Carpenter unable to reveal anything, but it does appear like The Thing relaunch is making progress. Carpenter may be wary of a Thing sequel because of a number of potential issues. The most prominent example is probably probably the current backlash against classic sequels like Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre and 2018's Halloween, two of Carpenter's most well-known franchises that have angered many horror fans online. Spectators think that the effort fell short in its attempt to replicate the core of what made the original movie great. It could fail. The next factor could be its age, given that The Ward, his last film to direct, was released in 2010. It is possible that Carpenter, who is 74, would find the procedure challenging. Finally, there is the conclusion of his 1982 movie in which MacReady and Childs are wary of one another, while the alien terrorizer is still roaming free. Many people think that this cliffhanger conclusion is ideal, given the themes of suspicion and paranoia, but it would also be a reasonable location to start a sequel where the alien takes over new hosts. Despite these elements, The Thing is nevertheless regarded as one of the most important and cherished horror movies of all time. The more time the property spends in a state of stagnation, the more audience interest in a follow-up project will rise. Along with its iconic status over the years, it will only continue to increase. And notwithstanding the Blumhouse and Universal remake, the horror community could strongly prefer such a sequel to yet another telling of the same tale. If Carpenter is involved in any important creative form, then that rings especially true. To set the record straight, there has been talk about a potential new The Thing project for some time. The most recent confirmation of a new The Thing project came from Blumhouse and Universal Studios, who said they would adapt the recently discovered full-length edition of Campbell Jr.'s novella Frozen Hell. Therefore, rather than being a sequel, the movie seems to be more a conventional reboot. All in all, a remake sounds promising, but we can only wait to see what becomes of this rumoured project. It is safe to say that Carpenter himself is interested in bringing the terror of the shape-shifting parasitic alien life form back to the big screen and scaring a whole new generation of horror fans. What do you think about a remake, or would a sequel be better? Tell us in the comments below. If you like our content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a great one, and please be safe. Thank you.